Welcome back, my friends, to TFT Hyperroll with Autarch. This video is a result of the live stream I did last Saturday because someone mentioned how much they enjoyed doing this particular build and I had never tried it before. So I jumped on my alt and decided I'm just going to force it no matter what happens. So there are going to be a lot of mistakes along the way, but it had an interesting result that I didn't exactly expect. And yes, we will be doing a live stream tomorrow again at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Now normally I would jump on that Corky who's got 8-bit and big shot right off the bat, but nope, we are going Crowd Diver EDM. So that's what we're ultimately looking for here. First set of augments, nothing super exciting here unless I was going one of my other builds, then I would grab Unified Resistance, but Component Buffet is going to give me the chance to craft items that I want. Yone is a Crowd Diver, so we're going to go ahead and put him in, and I know Bloodthirster is a decent item on him, so he's going to get a Bloodthirster, so we're off to that start. We found an Eve who is also a Crowd Diver, so for the moment, we are good on Crowd Divers. EDMs, you're not going to find one until Jax, and then it will be Lux at 3. Everyone else is a 4, so we might have a while to go on that. We found a Lux and locked for her, and I have never used this combination before, even though I've seen it used. Normally, I use Lux in Dazzler builds as an item holder for Twisted Fate, or if I manage to get her to 3 stars, she will stay in. But I've never used her as primarily an EDM without ticking the Dazzler trait as well. Item choice, we want to build AP on Lux, so we're going to go ahead and grab the Needlessly Large Rod. I'm just unsure as to whether I should go and make the Archangel Staff or hold out for a Spear of Sojin for that other tier. We don't want to take Evelyn to 3 since she's our headliner right now, and we're going to want to switch her out and get a better headliner down the road, which is why I'm leaving the other Evelyn in the shop. So I have the 4 Crowd Divers right now, and as I look through, I could grab a Jax headliner EDM Mosher. I just don't feel that's going to fit this build, and ultimately I'm going to want a Lux headliner if I'm going to have a chance, because that will tick Dazzler since we're playing multi-talented. It is time for our second set of augments, and there's nothing I like in this group. Nothing yet. Idealism isn't bad, but just not enough. I go with the Capricious Forge and just decide, you know what, I'm going to throw this on Evelyn because I know I'm getting rid of her soon, so I can look for a tier 3 headliner. Item-wise, go ahead, grab the bow. I was hoping to be able to put a Titan's Resolve on Yone, but nope, didn't get that. But I am able to make a Jeweled Gauntlet on Lux, so she has a little more power. I've also brought in a Kaisa just to light up the KDA field since Evelyn has the 2 KDAs. Now, I'm not sure why I never really tested this out during PBE or gravitated to it during playing Hyperroll, as I found a lot of other builds that I liked and just kind of stuck with them. But right now, at this moment, I'm feeling justified because this does not feel very strong, especially for something that should be stunning people and holding them in place. After losing that, I feel like this isn't going well. So I'm going to go ahead and dump Evelyn and pick up Katarina as an additional champ. Now, I should have just grabbed the Tom Kench to make Country because having Kaisa in at this point doesn't really help me all that much, and especially having 2 Katarinas doesn't really help me. But as I mentioned, this is the first time I'm ever trying this combo out. I go ahead, put the Capricious Forge onto Kaisa because I know she's out of here pretty soon, so let's just go through this round. And predictably, this round goes about as well as you would expect it to, because yeah, that's not a proper setup in any regards. I'm even surprised I got as close as I did. Item choice, I feel like ultimately I'm going to need a duplicator in this if I'm going to have any chance of succeeding, and I'm kind of reluctantly rolling here, especially after seeing a Twisted Fate, because I have good Disco Dazzler items on Lux, but that ship has kind of sailed. I would have needed to pick up a Tarek and a Nami early on, to at least lock that down for later in the game. So at this point, this is the path I'm on with Lux, hopefully going to carry. So my hopes and dreams are I just need to get through this round, dump the headliner again, and maybe pick up a Lux headliner. The two Anima Visages on Kaisa are going to keep her up for a while, but it's really not going to help in this fight. Now, I don't know if Gary's watching or what, but I come out of that into a Lux headliner EDM Dazzler, which is exactly what I wanted. Dump the Lux for the items, dump the Katarina because, yeah, she's not the headliner anymore. I immediately get the EDM selector, but unless I find a Jax, that's not going to matter. So we got to roll and hope to find a Jax. There's one, we can put him in, and now at least EDM will technically count. Final set of augments, and I'm honestly not sure what I should be grabbing. I'm looking for something that's going to increase the AP on Lux, and it's just not here. I go ahead and take balanced budget just so I have a lot more rolls. I'm hoping for a Spear of Sojin. It is not there. So I don't have the Lux items I necessarily want, but I at least can maybe get going with her as a headliner and now a second 2-star. So we're now pretty low on the damage chart. Somebody already gave up, and I feel like I should be giving up, but I really want to see this through. But yeah, I get one more chance because 2 health ain't gonna last you past the next couple of rounds. Now this is where luck or Gary or something plays a huge role because I'm able to get the Chain Vest so I can make the Titan's Resolve on Yone, the sword so I can make the Spear of Sojin on Lux. I also picked up Zed and Zac in the off rounds, so we can now put them in, and now we're at the 5 EDM. Time to say goodbye to Kaisa. Capricious Forge goes on Zac since he's going to be the main tank, and I'm hoping maybe I'll get some tanky items. So I am just essentially hoping for a miracle here, because Lux is not at 3 stars yet, so she's not super powerful, but luckily everyone is alive when the first EDM goes off, so it spreads out. Yone manages to stay alive thanks to that Bloodthirster, and we're able to survive that round and live to fight another day. We get an item choice. I was considering the Bruiser emblem because that will tick with Zac, but I'm ultimately going to want to get Illaoi later in the match and take someone else out. Then I go looking for what I hope is my final Lux, find her, Champion Duplicator. We now have the gold 3-star Lux, and I feel like maybe it's not going to be a complete disaster. With Lux now at 3 stars and the 5 EDM, this now starts to look like how could this not work? Because everything is just getting wrecked from multiple directions. We picked up an Akali to re-trigger the KDA into the next round and 2-starred the Zac. So again, I'm starting to feel that this is possible. Item choices here. I was looking for a Zed item, and here's my thinking as I go through it. I was going to stretch some armor, but I decided on the Sterix gauge simply because it will keep Zed up longer, which means we're going to get more EDM pulses. I don't know if that was correct or not, it just felt like the right thing to do. Now at this point in the match, this is kind of feeling a little unbeatable, whereas just moments ago I was sure I was done. I'm now pretty sure I'm going to win the whole thing. So it's another item choice. I'm holding a jeweled gauntlet on the side, hopefully for Sona or Ziggs, and so I grab the Rabadon's Death Cap to just go along with that. We can then pick up the Ziggs here and then hope to get a Sona later on. I've now also ended up picking up another 2-star Zac and about to get another 2-star Zed, but this is really the Lux show, and you can see her ults and then the EDM pulses afterwards are just the thing that has carried us into the top 4. But I really don't quite understand how I got here. So once again, it presents us with a Brawler emblem, and since now I'm kind of stuck in this KDA mode, I don't have room for Illaoi anymore, which was my original plan. Ziggs is now in, as a hyper pop because that is going to help Lux cast more often, and when you have a 3-star Lux casting more often, that's a good thing. And as you can see, this has now reached sort of silly proportions because Lux is just wrecking backlines. You have Zed jumping in and doing the same, Zach bouncing around doing his thing, and it's just not going to be stopped. As we head into the final fight, the outcome of which I have no doubt, to those of you who play this comp, what's a better way to get into it? Because I see the end game here, and it's really strong, but I do not think the best way to get into it is how I did. Crowd Diver feels really, really weak early, and to go down to 2 health and then come back and win just felt a little crazy. So please let me know what I did wrong and how I can do it better in the future. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have an absolutely awesome day, and check out the live stream Saturdays at 3 p.m.